Soldiers pull their combat rucksacks and parachute rigs off the back of a cargo truck under portable floodlights. It is nighttime. They lay their gear out on the ground and start putting it on. Main parachute goes on the back, reserve on the chest, rucksack clipped to the front below the reserve. They work in pairs. One soldier holds the chute container steady while the other pulls the harness straps over his shoulders and clips in. Leg straps get tightened, chest buckle locked, shoulder adjustments made. Some soldiers are already done and sit on the ground in their full kit, helmets on, waiting for the rest of the unit to finish. The C-17 arrives on the taxiway, engines running, and rolls to a stop near the staging area. The rear cargo ramp lowers, and the loadmasters step out to signal that the aircraft is ready for boarding. The soldiers get to their feet, form up, and begin walking toward the ramp. Under the weight of their full load, they move slowly, leaning forward, boots heavy on the tarmac. They file up the ramp one by one and take their seats inside the cargo bay. Loadmasters guide them into position, wall seats first, then center rows. Once everyone is seated and cargo is secured, the ramp closes and the aircraft taxis out for takeoff. In the air, the cabin is dark, except for a green glow from the overhead lights. The soldiers sit packed together in their gear. Some talk quietly to the man next to them. Some sit in silence. A few are pulling on rucksack straps, tightening buckles that loosen during boarding, adjusting the way their weapon sits against their body. The flight is long, and there is not much to do except wait and make small adjustments to gear that is already pressing into every part of their body. Then the command comes to stand up. The soldiers get on their feet, and the cabin turns into a wall of men and equipment. They hook their static line carabiners onto the overhead anchor cable. Lines are checked. Gear is checked. The count rolls from back to front. The rear cargo ramp begins to open. Wind rushes into the cabin, and the night sky appears behind the aircraft. The first stick of paratroopers moves toward the ramp. On the go signal, they step off the edge one after another, dropping into the darkness. Static lines snap, parachutes deploy, and within seconds, the first group is out and descending. The next stick moves up and follows them out. The aircraft empties fast. The jump is underway. In the hangar, another group of soldiers is preparing for deployment by helicopter. They stand along rows of benches where parachute rigs and equipment are laid out. Each soldier picks up his assigned chute and starts putting it on. Main parachute on the back, reserve on the chest. They work in pairs, same as every other group on this base tonight. One man holds the pack, while the other steps into the harness and pulls the straps over his shoulders. Leg straps buckled, chest strap locked, everything tightened down. Once rigged up, they sit on the benches and wait. NCOs walk the rows, doing a final visual inspection of every soldier's equipment. Outside the hangar, a CH-47 Chinook sits on the pad with both rotors turning. The rear ramp is down. The crew chief stands at the bottom of the ramp waiting for the soldiers. They form up in a column and walk out of the hangar toward the helicopter. The rotor wash hits them immediately. Dust, noise, wind pulling at their gear. They lower their heads and move up the ramp into the cargo hold. Inside, they sit on the bench seats along the walls, shoulder to shoulder, rucksacks between their legs. The crew chief does a head count, gives a thumbs up to the pilots, and the ramp closes. The Chinook lifts off, nose dips forward, and it heads out toward the objective. In flight, the soldiers sit in the dim cabin with the constant heavy vibration of the twin rotors above them. Some adjust their gear. The rear ramp of the Chinook is open. Soldiers are hooked up to the anchor cable and standing in line. The green light comes on and they start stepping off the ramp, one after another. Static lines pull the parachutes open automatically. A trail of canopies appears behind the helicopter. The soldiers descend under their chutes, release their rucksacks on lowering lines, and hit the ground within a minute. They land, collapse their parachutes, get out of the harness, grab their weapons, and start moving toward the rally point. The Chinook is already gone.